A toy rocket is launched into the air. The equation modeling the height of the rocket in feet t seconds after launch is given below. Identify the form of the function that reveals the maximum height reached by the rocket. Then use this form to determine the solution. So what we have here, we have time and the function of height. So we're trying to find the maximum, and right away I can see it's a negative leading coefficient, so I know, if you look right here, it's going to be something along the lines of this, since it's a quadratic. We're trying to find the vertex, the maximum. We're trying to find that maximum right there, because the vertex is the apex of it. This is 0 seconds, and this is x seconds. We don't know what that is yet. So we want to identify the form of the function that reveals the maximum. So I'm going to do this a little different than probably you've seen. I'm going to complete the square. The rule for completing the square is we can't have a negative leading coefficient. Also, our coefficient has to be equal to 1, so our leading coefficient has to be 1. So right away, what I do is I'm going to write h of t is equal to, and I'll pull out a negative 32. And you get t squared. So if I pull out a negative, this becomes a negative 2. 256. I don't know how many times 256 is divided by 32, so I need to see if it goes into it evenly. So the way you could do that, it's going to be redundant, but I'm going to do it because none of us have our multiplication down. 32 is 64, so that's 2 times is 64. Let's just do 64 plus 64. That gives us 128. Oops, 128. And if we double it again, 128. We'll just see if this keeps working. 6, 1, 4, 5. 5, okay, 256. Oh, good, that is 256. So let's count how many times we did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 64 was 128. So what we pulled out was, so it does go into it evenly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So 4. So this is the 4. And this is 4. So it's 8 times. Okay, so it's 8 times. So we pull out an 8. Okay, so to complete the square, so this is how you can do the kind of division. Just these two, the way I did it was these two equals this. These two was equal to this, and I just doubled it. And we got 8. T. So to complete the square, all you have to do, divide the number. So we add the middle coefficient, divide it by 2, and you square it. But if you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. But here's the kicker. We have to also include this number in front. So we get negative 32 times 8 divided by 2 squared plus h of t is equal to negative 32. But what's nice about completing the square, we get our form right away. So we use our sign negative, so we get t minus, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. And we square it, because the whole point of completing the square is to make a perfect square trinomial. What we do here is 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. And So we get 16 times 32. Well, we know that 32 times 8 is 256. So we just do, we know 256 times 8, or shoot, we know 8 times 32. 32 is equal to 256. So if we double the 8, we get 256 times 8 one more time, or times 2. We get 2, 1, 6, 7. Oh shoot, what am I even doing? Sorry. So 32 times 8 is 256. So 256 times 2 would give us 2, 1. And then from here we get 10, 11, 2 times 4, 5, 512. So we get 512, negative 512 plus h of t equals negative 32 t minus 4 squared. Last step, add 512. So h of t is equal to negative 32 times the quantity of t minus 4 squared plus 512. So our vertex here is at 4, 512. So our vertex here is at 4, 512. So what this means is at 4 seconds, it's at 512 feet, since that's what we're using. So which one matches our form here? It's going to be D. Looks like D would be our answer.